Hi guys, welcome back to our Knox Locks lifestyle channel. I'm here today to talk about my lifestyle, which is teaching, which we talked about in Kayla and I's first introduction video. We not only want to feature things about our hair products and our hair and our awesome website and giveaways for you guys, we also want to feature things about our life and our lifestyle. We'll do vlogs at times, and sometimes we'll do sit down videos where we give our take on different things that deal with our jobs or things or food or anything we like, and we want to feature them for you guys. So today I'm going to talk about outfitting your classroom for the 17-18 school year. I try to keep this as general as possible because I am a history teacher, so some things may not be relevant to you if you don't teach history or you don't teach middle or high school history. I've taught both. I am going to be teaching middle school history this year, so I'm gearing a lot of what I'm talking about towards the middle school teacher and the middle school environment versus the high school environment, which I've done in the past. Well, my first mistake, this is my 5th year teaching, and the first few years of teaching, my biggest mistake was thinking that I had to spend a lot of money on products and items for my classroom, which is totally false and unnecessary. I remember I watched this like 10 drawer set, this like all multicolored drawers. I think it was at like a store, like a craft store, and I was waiting for it to go on sale, I died to have it for my classroom. It was really expensive. Got the coupon, used it. The drawers lasted half a semester, and it was rickety, it fell apart, and all I ended up keeping was the actual pull-out drawers in the middle. So this year I made, one thing I did when I started at my new school is I first went there and I took a picture of my empty classroom. And then I sat down and I looked at each corner of the classroom and mapped out what I wanted each part of the classroom to look like. Once I did that, I created a supply list from what I want to create based on what I wanted. So I used Pinterest in order to find ideas of things I wanted in my classroom, and then if I didn't have that supply, I added to the list. Then I thought about, let me find the most cost-efficient way to find these things, and that is first using the dollar store. So I am going to attempt to outfit most of the things, if not all, from the dollar store, and if not, very selectively choosing inexpensive items from Amazon. I do not plan to spend over, let's say, $75 outfitting my classroom this year between the things I already have and the things that I'm going to need for this school year. One thing I want to talk about that I did get from the dollar store, which all of you probably will realize once I show it to you, is the first thing I always use every year. I start with a planner. So what I use is the Recollections planner. You can get them from Michael's, and I don't know if Hobby Lobby has them, but I use the Recollections planner, and I get the smaller one. I've had the bigger one before, but sometimes it's not as convenient to carry around. But I use the Recollections planner to plan out things for my summer and for the new school year, and I start a new planner every school year, even though I still have months left. And I know that seems super wasteful, but usually if you don't do that, your planner will end in December and you still need it for either the rest of the semester, and you'd have to get a new planner and carry on 2 planners till the school year ends. So I start a new planner every school year with a new planner. So I start with that. So that's the first thing I went in and did. And right now Michael's has a 40% off coupon for their store, and I think I didn't even need to use a coupon because they had all planners and planner accessories on sale for 40% off already. So I used that. I got that deal the other day when I went and got this planner, making it about $16, $15, which isn't bad for this or the Happy Planner, whichever one you prefer. So that's the Recollections planner. Also, I use it to carry notes around in, because if I carry my bigger purse, I can put the planner in my purse and just take it out of the store so I don't forget things. So a big part of my classroom next year is that I want to help students track mastery and stay organized. So one thing I always do since I've taught the AVID program in the past is that I use Cornell Notes, and a lot of kids, if they're not a part of the AVID program, they don't know what Cornell Notes are. So I'm going to make a visual board, which I'll show in my later vlogs of how I set up my classroom, of what Cornell notes are and how your Cornell notes should look. I use Cornell notes in my room to actually make homework assignments. So the students take the right side of the notes in class and they fill in the left and the bottom at home for homework, and we talk about it the next day, or they talk about it in groups. It's an easy to check homework assignment and to see where kids are and to ask questions from it. So the first thing I know I needed letters, because even though I love anchor charts, I have terrible handwriting and I cannot create anchor charts. So one thing I got from the dollar store were die-cut letters, because I need to spell out the word Cornell notes in my classroom. So I got die-cut letters, and this one comes with 69 characters. So I actually picked up 2 of these because I want to do 2 different boards. One board will say Cornell notes and one board will say something like while you were out, or mastery, or our progress, class progress, or something like that, because I have one really long board of bulletin boards. So because of that, I want to split one half into thirds, and I'm going to put one part is going to show what Cornell notes should look like, one part is going to be our mastery section, and one part is going to be our extra credit section. And I'll talk about that when I start talking about how I set up my classroom. But the next thing, because I have such a huge wall of bulletin boards, it's really important to figure out how you're going to put paper on them. I am terrible at putting paper on bulletin boards. I can't do it. It's like you're a magician to me if you know how to effectively make a bulletin board with the rollout paper. I've never been able to do it. What I've done in the past is I've used fabric from the fabric store, but because these bulletin boards are super big, I don't want to spend that kind of money on fabric this year. So this year I am using tablecloths from the dollar store. So the plastic party rectangular tablecloths are what I'm going to use for my bulletin boards, and I'm going to use these in my classroom. This year I'm going to go with green and purple. I know it's random, but I'm going to work with whatever color the dollar store has, and these were the best colors for me. So green and purple, I'm going to use those in my classroom to line the boards. I wouldn't suggest using the plastic if you are a person that takes things off of the bulletin board constantly. It's kind of for a consistent bulletin board, which I use more in middle school versus maybe in an elementary setting. You might be switching your boards out more often, but in middle and high school, those are great ways to line your board because you don't have to keep changing them out constantly for something else. And because if you do, they will rip and you'd have to do the whole thing over. But it is $1, so you know, can't complain too much. Another thing I like to use on my bulletin boards to store things are file folders. And I got these file folders from Dollar Tree, so they were $1. And I use these to hold things like missed assignments, missed work, anything like that. So this is what I put on the board to stuff things with. I'm going to use this for my extra credit board, and when I show you the extra credit board, you'll see how I'm going to be able to use this and kids can readily go get things. I don't have a lot of furniture in my room right now because I am in a new school, so I haven't had time to hunt down certain items I may need for like a student station or anything like that. So, excuse me. I'm going to need to find ways to keep things readily available on the wall. I'm going to show you my plicker station and how I hang that up once I do the video of actually in my classroom. Last item I want to show you are these bins. Every year I get bins. I don't care if I need bins or don't need bins. Dollar Store has the best bins for holding things. I'm not going to lie, I do not know what I want to use these bins for. They're pretty large. They're a lot larger than the ones I already have, which I've used to use those in the past to hold markers and things. But the problem I find with using these to hold markers with middle schoolers is that the colored pencils, or high schoolers, and the markers slip out through the holes, and unless you felt line the inside, which who wants to do that, you're going to lose a lot of your materials. So a lot of times I use this to hold bigger things like erasers or other items that kids use constantly in the classroom that won't slip out through the holes. And these were an awesome find at the Dollar Tree near my house. And I'm going to use these probably for storage of other things or kids' stuff in the corner, things like that. or I might use them to actually hang on the wall. I'm thinking about using them like if you put them against the wall with like command strips, like command hooks, and kind of let them hang open like open buckets. That make a good storage, especially if you're in a classroom that's really small. I was in a really small classroom last year, and I wish I would have thought of that if you don't have a lot of storage space and you need kids to readily get things. So these might be my student centers. So I might put some like staplers in here or packs of pencils, things like that students might need extra stuff, and put these and hang them from the wall with the command hooks. This is a really short haul because I have accumulated a lot of things in the past 4 years that I've been teaching. I know, a really long time, right? So I'm going to show you all those things that I've had collected from my parent, who's retired now, but a lot of stuff she's given me over the years, and some of her colleagues, and things I've gotten that I've purchased with my own money. And I'm going to show you how to put together an awesome classroom that showcases vocabulary, mastery, and all those things, and you can kind of manipulate it to meet your actual needs for your subject area or grade level. If you're new here, please subscribe to our channel if you want to see more things like this. And remember, we also talk about hair products. We also do giveaways all the time. You can visit our website, knoxlocks.com, in order to get any information about purchasing any hair or anything like that, or any of our other products, and I'll leave that below. We also keep a blog on our website as well, so pay attention to the blog, sign up for our e-blast. That's how you get coupons and special giveaways from us at Knox Locks. And if you want to know more about us and our lifestyle and other tips and tricks between teaching, nursing, and hair, please subscribe below. Thank you.